Hello, everybody. I have a glimmer on the cheekbones and the eye bags are popping, okay? Not to brag, but I'm on day 8 of solo parenting. Andrew is approaching American soil, and I couldn't be happier. I am just at the very end of my rope. I have bonded with Clyde this past week. I mean, we've spent a lot of time together, but I don't want to change another diaper. I don't want an early morning wake up. I don't want to schlep to a school or an appointment. I don't want to comb boogers out of the hair. I need to pass the proverbial baton to Andrew for 48 hours and then reconvene. Last night, I watched the Call Her Alex, which is Alex Cooper's documentary. I think it would classify as a documentary, a woman of the arts, okay, theater. And I loved it. I texted her. I was hysterical. I was like, I just want you to know that I'm home alone sobbing at your documentary, and I'm so proud of you. Go get him, Tiger. Because you know what I learned about myself? I think many people would assume because I am such a cunt that I would watch something like that and be like, ugh, why? Oh my God, I don't have a jealous bone in my body. I could never do what she has done. It is so impressive. You don't have to like her. You don't have to listen to her. You don't have to do any of the things, but you better put respect on her fucking name. Okay. I love watching people win. I do. I don't really care if it's me, which is weird because I am oddly competitive in recreational games. Don't ever play catchphrase with me. But all in all, I'm pretty lazy and content. And sometimes I think, what could you be capable of if you just kicked it up 6% more? And then I think, I don't wanna. Let's leave it to the hard workers, let's leave it to the ones willing to hustle and grind, because this bitch is not. I may not hustle and grind, but I would like to rewind, okay? And by rewind, I mean I'd like to address some public scrutiny I am facing this week. So I was on Jeff Lewis Live yesterday, and we're doing the show. I've done it 7 million times at this point. And most of the time, by 36 minutes in, I completely forget I'm on the radio. I start eating pretzels. I'm counting the cracks in the ceiling. I'm very unaware of an audience, clearly. You know what I mean? With this podcast, my live shows, which, by the way, go to thebitchbible.com/tour. I need you to roll through. Okay. I've got a few shows that still have tickets and I want to sell this bitch out. So I promise you, you're going to have a great time. But I am not someone who has versions of myself. I am, to a scary, scary degree, always the same person. Lights on, lights off, mic on, mic off, radio, not radio, podcast, whatever. You're never going to catch me being a different version of what you've been presented. And that comes with peaks and pits. You know what I mean? So I'm on the radio having a gay old time. And Jeff on air says something, he's like, oh, I have terrible news. And immediately when someone says I've got bad news, I go into shutdown mode. I'm disassociating. I'm clicking off a part in my brain. We're compartmentalizing. No more bad news. I've said it a million times. I said, I can't get any more bad news. I am good. I have hit my quota for the rest of my life. It's why I'm so fuckless and fancy free, because Andrew and I have weathered, not to make this about us, because that's also really gross. We've weathered many a storm. You know what I mean? We get those phone calls. I'm ready for it. It's not great, but it's just unfortunately something that I have been dealt. Okay. So he says, oh, I just received terrible news. I'm like, nope. And he says, Carney Wilson's father died. Now, Carney Wilson of Wilson Phillips, whom I love, okay? I've met her through doing radio, and she has the warmest, spirit. Okay. She is like a walking ball of love. She's like a hug in human form. She makes you feel comfortable. She makes you feel loved. She's making you cookies. She's just as objectively lovely as you could possibly imagine, okay? And clearly, suffering a traumatic loss. Her father, Brian Wilson, Beach Boys icon legend, okay? Andrew's hero. I mean, we've got a Beach Boys record in Clyde's nursery. Like, this is a massive loss to Carney, to the world, to music, to everything, okay? And I listened back to the radio show because I was getting a lot of DMs like, you were disgusting, you were distasteful. I don't know how Carney Wilson will ever speak to you again, because I immediately want to diffuse the situation. And the truth is that when I think about any time that I'm presented any form of grief, I disassociate, I divert, and I dilute. Okay, so I just want to lighten the mood. I don't want it to be heavy. And also, another thing that I've realized, this is a moment of self-reflection and self-evolvement, because I'm going to try not to do this anymore. I always think that if people pass over a certain age, or someone loses a parent, a grandparent, that it is a true celebration of life. And it's like, oh, I don't think how sad. I always think, and it's probably like a protective instinct to be like, oh, how lucky to have had them so long, because me and my husband, we've got one surviving parent between the two of us, and we're still young, So I'm always like, oh, like what a beautiful life. At least they, got to meet your children, got to see you get married. And like, I consider it celebratory, because after I would say even 75, I'm like, you got a good run. And I think that way with me. And I truly practice what I preach. I'm not someone that's like walks around with a black veil like a victim. So I deal with death in a very pragmatic way, maybe because I've had to. So anyways, we're on the radio, and Jeff Lewis and I are a very bad combination, okay? Because I think we probably have the same default settings. I won't speak for him, but immediately I want to pivot. So I made some kind of like distasteful comment. We're all going on this trip in a couple weeks, like a brand trip. And I said, oh, like, do you think Carney Wilson's still going to go? And he's like, oh, I don't think so. I'm like, because then, a spot's opened up, and we've had this ongoing joke that it's like the Hunger Games of getting on this trip, because it's like a glamorous private jet. It's a one-day thing. It's fun. We get away from the kids, whatever. And I said it to kind of just like keep it moving, diffuse the situation. I listened back. I was cringing. I was like, oh my God, Jackie, like not even like we're just glazing past it. And that's exactly what I was doing. I would never make excuses. That's exactly what I was doing. And then I started thinking about it, because at first I was like, oh, maybe I was just keeping it light for radio. Then I'm driving, I'm listening to Clyde's Wake Up playlist, and a Beach Boys song comes on, like the very first song on shuffle. And it was like, God only knows. And I'm a little bit emotionally frail from watching the Alex Cooper documentary. So the tears are flowing. I'm in the middle of a menstrual cycle. God only knows comes on. I start bawling, okay, over a chimichurri salmon bowl. And I immediately pull over. I'm starting panicking, texting Jeff. I'm not going to text Carney Wilson. She's going through something. And how annoying to even think that maybe she would be upset with the kind of flippant conversation in regards to a serious trauma on her end, and then make it about me and put that on her. So then she needs to validate my emotions about her emotions. It's too layered. You know what I mean? So I text Jeff and I'm like, oh my God, if you speak to Carney, because they're closer than I am with Carney, will you please tell her I am so deeply sorry for my behavior on the radio. I love her. She's a bright light. I'm all the while listening. God only knows. And I'm like panicking, indigestion. Honestly, I didn't even finish my lunch because I was like, I started having stomach aches. You know, I was like, oh my God, am I going to get diarrhea from this? Here's hoping I could use the pre-Vegas Slim Down. But oh my God. And then I just took a deep breath and I said, Jackie, this isn't about you. Move on, bitch. Get over yourself. Death is hard for me. It's hard for everybody. I handle it very programmatically, and it's not great. And then I started really reflecting about even when my husband lost both of his parents, okay? He lost both of his fucking parents early 30s. I was by the third parent, okay, I was like, I couldn't even get there. I just wanted it to be done. I was like, wow, when are we good? And I probably wasn't as not supportive. I'm really good making it about me again. I'm really good at facilitating things because that's all I know how to do in those situations. You need something done, call me, I will show up. I will never forget. And then I'm going to really lighten the mood because this has taken a dark, dark turn. Okay. We're going to talk shit about somebody soon. But I remember my best friend, Dan. His father passed away when we were in college, freshmen in college, I believe. And he was in Boston. And it happened suddenly, okay? And he had called me, and I hadn't really experienced much. I mean, granted, I've got 5 dead aunts, dead mom, dead mother-in-law, dead father-in-law, dead grandfather, circle of life. That one's okay. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on, making it about me. See, I'm not going to listen to this episode. We'll move past it. My best friend, Dan, calls me and is like, my dad passed. And I'm like, what? How? What? When? Where? What are you talking about? We were 18 years old. He's like, will you go over? Because he was on the other side of the country. He's like, will you go over to my house and be there? And I was like, yeah, sure. No problem. I remember going to Gelson's and picking up a pesto pasta salad and went straight over to the house. They were still very much so doing things. We were still in it. And I just went over there and I was okay to do that. I was like, I have the constitution to go in there and make it okay or make it. I don't know. I was predispositioned to just kind of move forward, just go. Oh God. Thank God I'm in therapy. Max has called me 15 times. We spoke for 45 minutes yesterday. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm actually really good. I think I'm just very menstrual. I don't know what's going on with me. You know, you have a child, you see things through a different lens. Anyways, who else should we talk shit about? Let's move on. Okay. To the left. As you know, my house is a revolving door of guests, and, I might not like to make them comfortable during the days when I need to be frisky and free, but I do want them to have a healthy, comfortable slumber, which is why I recently upgraded our guest bedrooms to Lisa mattresses. It is the perfect combo of soft and supportive, and it is so breathable. We had the oldest mattresses in our guest rooms, and my dad has a bad back, and I was like, okay, we gotta rejig the format and get some new mattresses. It's so easy to just get complacent with your old mattress because you're like, ugh, then I'm gonna switch it and what do I buy? And there's so many options. But as soon as you upgrade, you notice such a big difference. My dad, like I said, who uses his room the most, has been raving about it and is like, thank you so much for getting a new mattress. So Lisa has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. mattresses. Using the highest quality materials, Leesa meticulously designs and assembles their mattresses in America for exceptional comfort and support. Delivery is free, returns are easy, and you have 100 nights to try out your mattress in the comfort of your home. With Leesa, your purchase has a purpose. Every year, Leesa donates thousands of mattresses to those in need, with more than 41,000 donated to date. Go to Leesa.com for 25% off mattresses, plus get an extra $50 off with promo code BIBLE. Exclusive for my listeners, that's Leesa.com, promo code BIBLE for 25% off mattresses, plus an extra $50 off. Leesa.com, promo code BIBLE. Remember, no matter who you are, there's a Leesa just for you. Have you tried everything under the sun for peace of mind? It sounds like it's time for you to try Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. I've tried every pill, herb, and supplement to help me sleep, but so many of them do not deliver, okay? The Cornbread Sleep CBD gummies are out of this world. You will see an immediate difference in your sleep, and it will only improve the longer that you take them. With a lot of sleep remedies, I feel like they either don't work at all or they knock me out like a tank, and I feel very groggy the next day. But Cornbread really works with my body to deliver a naturally good night's sleep. Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies are made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, discomfort, or just needing a little relaxation. They only use the best part of the hemp plant, the flower, for the purest and most potent CBD. And my favorite part about them is that all of their products are third-party lab tested and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. Right now, Bitch Bible listeners can save 30% off their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/bitchbible and use code bitchbible at checkout. That is cornbreadhemp.com/bitchbible and use code bitchbible. Basically, the moral of that story is I would like to publicly apologize to anyone that heard that, because that was just me short-circuiting and not great. No excuses. Distasteful. Not cute. You know? And we live, we learn, okay? Also, Jeff Lewis bought me a Labubu, which is, if you're living under a rock, these infantilized little demon creatures that people are hanging from their purses. And I hooked mine on my bag just like to commit to the bit for sport. And then I went to go get a turmeric chicken tendy at Erewhon for Clyde, and I couldn't get it fucking off. And I was like, I can't walk into that market with this Labubu because I cannot stand for what it represents. What does it represent? Consumerism and childhood trauma. So maybe I should put it back on my back. I'm not sure. But you guys, it's getting out of hand. People are buying little outfits and then they're putting the outfits on the Labubus. And I'm like, what is the fucking deal here? What is happening? Oh, God, it's too much to bear. It's just too much to bear. Wait, getting back to just like grief and coping really quick. I just went to lunch with my cousin Joe, and me and her are of the same breed. So we sit down. This wonderful waiter, Ben, who I know, who's so sweet, who like works at one of the local restaurants, comes over and brings our food and is like, this is like the best sandwich. It's new to the menu. It tastes like your mom made it for you, but like elevated. I look at Joe. Joe looks at me. We both look at Ben. I'm like, are you going to take this one or I'm going to take this one? Joe's like, I got it. She looks at Ben. She goes, well, that must be nice because both of our moms are dead. Ben's like, enjoy your food. See you later. We're like, love you, Ben. So embarrassing. And we just start laughing. And we're like, what is wrong with us? So much. It's such a lengthy question. Speaking of questions, we're lightening up the mood now. I have this pair of sheer crystal Gucci embellished pants, okay, that are kind of like a jogger pant. It's not a trouser. I would have loved the trousers, but there's like double the price. So I had to stick with the ones that were like a little, just slightly different. Sheer tulle. So I've got this sheer pant, but I'm carrying a bit in my midsection, not because I'm with child. Don't ask me one more fucking time. It's because I'm fluctuating and do I need to start weightlifting? Everyone's talking about the weightlifting thing, but I don't wanna. I just wanna lay there like a lifeless sardine, flailing my limbs at a Pilates class, talking shit with my gals, okay? Making jokes with Jody. Okay, shout out Jody from my Pilates group. I don't know that I want to I don't know that I'm going to go and like really crank it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but everyone's like, you got to start weightlifting. You need protein and you need creatine. And I'm like, maybe it's too many things. I have mercury poisoning. I'm already taking the activated charcoal. I've got this meeting with some Eastern medicine doctor that lives in the woods in Oklahoma that's going to like scan my hand on a machine via Zoom and like tell me what to do with my life. But all of my friends have seen him and swear by him. He's like some weird wizard. I don't know, but I'm doing it because that's where I'm at emotionally. Okay. That's a fun way of saying emotionally. Boop. Wait, we have to talk shit about Andrew for a second. First of all, we just got back from Los Olivos. We spent Father's Day. We had a wedding, and we went to the Inn at Maddie's Tavern in Los Olivos. If you live anywhere in Southern California, this is not an ad, just a gal sharing things. The Inn at Maddie's Tavern in Los Olivos is such a magical property. It's so like, I hate to use the term rustic because that makes me want to die by 1,000 wood planks. But it is as rustic as I am comfortable with. It's like beautiful rooms. I love Los Olivos. I love walking to all the restaurants there, the wineries. It's a hop, skip, and a jump from LA. And it's just like the most beautiful drive. Ugh, we had the best time. Us and all of our friends ditched our kids, went for the night, got shit-faced, and woke up, had huevos rancheros, and just like rolled back into town. So Andrew is once again abandoning me this week. We are on like a 2-week abandonment situation. So last week he was in London for like 8 days. He comes home, late Thursday night. We spend Friday together. We have a little date night. We recalibrate, get in the zone. I have him do all the little chores that I don't really like to do around the house. And then as we're going to bed Friday night, he says, oh, by the way, famous last words, by the way, I forgot to mention. And I was like, I swear to fucking God. He goes, I invited the bros over tomorrow. I said, Andrew, you are on American California soil for less than 72 hours. We have one Saturday before you abandon me and your child again. What do you mean you're having the bros over? He says, it's no big deal. I invited everybody over tomorrow at 10:30, thought we could do a little breakfast, little pool. And then, the kids will have to go to sleep. They'll have to nap around like 12:31. So we'll just do like an early breakfast hang. I said, okay, that somewhat works for me. I have a heart out at 1 p.m. I have a blow dry and a keratin treatment, Andy. So I will be bidding you adieu. Okay. So a lot of his friends have kids. We get the bagels, we get the fruit, we get the lox, we get the thing, we set it up. And Andrew goes and does a quick beverage run. First things first, he goes to not a Smart and Final, but maybe like an Albertsons of the sorts. I don't like going to Albertsons or Ralph's for a myriad of reasons, but there's too many aisles. I find the whole thing to be chaotic. I don't like their pre-cut fruit. I don't like loading the conveyor belt. And I just find like the whole checkout process to be very inefficient at our local Vons / Albertsons. But, she believed she could and she did. Andrew sauntered to to Vons. Okay. He's picking up Spindrift, like popsicles. This is the kicker. Okay. So he's unloading the car and I notice a mystery tin, okay, like a plastic barrel of some sort, okay, something I've never seen before. I said, Andrew, what the fuck is this? I hold it up. It says Safeway Selects Party Mix, okay? We are talking a concoction of cheese puffs, Cheetos, off-brand Doritos, pretzels, and like some other fucking white trash chip that I've never seen before. Okay, not even a name brand Dorito, a Safeway Selects orange powdery cancer concoction. I said, I swear to God, I was so taken aback. And we've been together for many, many years. So that is not something that I've ever seen him purchase. I was so just out of sorts. I looked at him and I said, is this an inside joke with you and your childhood friends? And he goes, no, I just thought it'd be great to have for snacking. I said, Andrew, with a gun to my head, okay, I would sooner serve the kiddos anthrax and razor blades, okay, in my cute little antique party bowls than put a party mix, a Safeway Selects brand, orange powdered cancerous concoction party mix at 10:30 a.m., okay? At 10:30, are you fucking, he's like, well, it's just good to have. I'm like, it's not good to have. It's good to have things to pick. Berries, nuts, chips. I'll take a regular chip. Not to mention, I don't know who brought it, but there is a bag of Tostitos scoops in my kitchen. And every time someone came over, I said, I would just like to clarify two things, okay? The Tostitos scoops, not this bitch, okay? I support the Hispanic community. I would never, my housekeeper would slap me across my fucking face if I busted a Tostito scoops, which by the way, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the episode because I wanted to formulate my thoughts properly. Cue the downer music. What's happening in Los Angeles, now we're going to get back to my fucking shit for brains party mix husband. What's happening in Los Angeles is so devastating. And I mean, I know this affects everybody in different ways, but I want to speak specifically to the Hispanic community that is being targeted in Los Angeles. I was driving down like a local street and I saw people just fucking running. And I have such an affinity for the Hispanic community growing up in Los Angeles, the people, and forgive me if I'm misspeaking in any way, shape, or form, because I don't like when people like generalize, it's like kind of a slippery one. I don't have a script. I care so deeply about the Hispanic community. These are people that are loyal, hardworking. They are like the fiber of Los Angeles. They are the culture of Los Angeles. They are a community that I love, that I trust, that I think is so essential to what makes Los Angeles so fucking great and such a city. And the fact that families are being ripped apart, like hardworking people that are trying to make a better life for themselves, for their families, who left Mexico to come here and like try to live an American dream, and they are being, wrangled like animals. I'm trying to omit certain details, but people that I know and love that like aren't attending their children's high school graduations because they're so afraid of, what's going on over here. So I just would like to say how I can only hope that it gets better. And I'm so just grossed out and pissed. I'm pissed and I kind of don't know what else to say. It's fucking, I think it's fucking disgusting, and I see it and I don't like it. Even though now I feel very in control of my finances, I definitely didn't feel that way back when I was in my 20s, getting my car repossessed, et cetera, et cetera. It really took time for me to get on my shit. And back then I really could have used Chime. Chime understands that every dollar counts. That's why when you set up direct deposit through Chime, you get access to fee-free features like free overdraft coverage, getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit, and more. Learn more at chime.com/Jackie. Chime has so many incredible features that make for super easy, user-friendly banking. With Chime, you can get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. And who doesn't love getting their money sooner? Plus, they have tools for daily balance updates and real-time transaction alerts, which really helps you stay on top of your finances, whether you're saving for your next big vacay or you just want to build healthy spending habits. Chime is with you every step of the way. Chime is banking done right. Open a checking account with no monthly fees and no maintenance fees. Get paid up to 2 days early when you set up direct deposit. With qualifying direct deposits, you're eligible for free overdraft up to $200 on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals. Work on your financial goals through Chime today. Open an account in 2 minutes at chime.com/Jackie. That's chime.com/Jackie. Chime feels like progress. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank, N.A. or Stride Bank, N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs, bank ranking, and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required. Hot days, humid nights, and nonstop plans, all that heat can increase hair shedding, while a packed schedule can add stress, which can impact your hair. Nutrafol's whole body approach and clinically tested formulas support your hair from within so you can focus on living your best life all summer long. You may have heard of Nutrafol's hair growth supplements and wondered, do they actually work? It is a fair question. Many hair supplements overpromise and underdeliver, but Nutrafol is different. As the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, it is trusted by over 1.5 million people and is clinically tested to deliver real results in just 3 to 6 months. While many of these supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests its final formulations using advanced hair measurement tools like hair counts and pull tests to track real improvements in growth, quality, shedding, and texture. And it's not just backed by studies. Their research is published in peer-reviewed journals and vetted by doctors, ensuring scientific rigor and reliable results. This summer, stop worrying about your hair and start making memories. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code BIBLE. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code BIBLE. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code BIBLE. Let's lighten the mood. Party mix. Yikes. Okay. So Andrew's friends come over at 10:30, okay? And I leave for my blow dry at 1 o'clock, okay? And I take my time with it, okay? We got a wedding the next day. I'm like really trying to like seal the Ashkenazi. I did buy like a deep barrel crimper a la Amazon and tried to give myself like a PC like Kardashian wave, which ended up looking like John Benet Ramsey went to a Cyndi Lauper concert and then got electrocuted on the way. It was real bad. It was really, really, really bad. And that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. But before that, I had a very beautiful, lustrous, labor-intensive blow dry. And I get home around 3 o'clock. Certainly everybody has left so that I can boss Andrew around for a last round of chores. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was still here. Okay. Then I say, I'm going to pop over to Gelson's and get Clyde some necessities before we chuck him on Father's Day and head to Los Olivos, as loving parents do. So then I go over to Gelson's, catch up with my girls and, pilfer around, spend about 20, 25, 30 minutes catching up, doing my thing. Certainly everybody would be gone by 3:30. They got there at 10:30. I'm starting to crunch numbers. Now we're talking 5 hours, okay? So we've done the lunch. We've done transitional appetizers. Now we've done lunch. We've done tacos. We've done salsas. We've done a beautiful cabbage slaw salad that I made. Okay. We're doing fruit with mint. We're doing a little fruit with the mint. Okay. Now we're busting out popsicles. Certainly by 3:30 things will have wrapped up. No. So now we're at 5 hours. Then I'm like, well, I'm going to go pack for Los Olivos, saunter into my closet. Now we're talking about 4:45, 5 o'clock. Everyone's still very comfortable. Now we're going into more transitional appetizers. Everybody stayed till 7:45 p.m. I finally at 7 p.m. said, hey, everybody, make yourself comfortable. Oh, too late for that. You already are very, very comfortable. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to go take my bra off and put my stem cells on my face. So I said to Andrew, Andrew, you're doing bath time. So now Andrew is doing bath time. I'm in the shower with my tits hanging low, wobbling to and fro with the illegal stem cells on my face. I come out. Everybody's still there. I said, okay, I don't want to spend 9 hours with anybody. I don't want to spend 9 hours with myself. Okay. I don't like to spend 9 hours with my family. And now we're getting to a place I start lighting candles. I get in my pajamas. I'm sitting on the sofa. I'm putting on the housewives. And finally, it was like, dim the goddamn lights. You got to get the fuck out of here. It was 9.5. No. Wait, 1.5 times 8. 9.5 hours of entertaining on a Saturday. Okay. With the fucking party mix. I couldn't believe it. I was like, and these bros are just very comfortable, just kind of chilling, throwing back a couple Coronas, having a taco, like just sitting in silence. Sometimes I'm like, you guys, what the fuck? This is not how I socialize. I get in, I get slippery, I get bitchy, and then I get the fuck out. I did it this morning, okay? I was sitting with all of my friends by a pool. You hit them hard and nasty for 45 minutes. I said, you know what? I'm going now. Goodbye. You're welcome, everybody. Mic drop. We talk a little shit, make a little love, get down tonight, get out. You know what I mean? Like, bye-bye. Crazy. Okay. Crazy. That was number one. What was the second reason? Well, I guess those are the two reasons I want to kill Andrew. And now number 3, he's leaving me for fucking dead. He's leaving me for fucking dead again. I have to take care of the child all week. Okay. I don't have the spirit. I don't have the spirit for it. I say this so earnestly and so honestly. Let's get to my outline that I made Josh make for me because I was like, I don't know what to talk about. Party mix. Okay. Jojo Siwa. Oh my God. Thank you for the passive aggressive note, Josh. He says, I'm genuinely shocked you haven't talked about Jojo Siwa's relationship with Chris Hughes. I don't know who this person is. I think they were on Big Brother UK together. Okay, yep. They met while competing on Big Brother UK. Scissor sister to the stars. Jojo Siwa is not scissoring into the sunrise anymore. You know what? I mean, I don't know if she claimed to be straight, lesbian, bisexual, or whatever, but I've never met someone that feels like a stronger lesbian than Jojo Siwa. I mean, she's just, she might as well have a tattoo on her forehead that says rug muncher. Like sometimes you just know, you know what I mean? Like I could sniff out a lesbian from like 5 miles away. I remember, this is probably a story I should keep to myself, but I'm just going to share it. I'm feeling like I'm in the mood. When my little sister was like 9 years old, she thought she was like the next Lisa Leslie. She has this lore in her head that she was like amazing at basketball. And I promise you, she wasn't really that good. Okay. Like this, it wasn't like she was going to go pro and she was going to play in college. Like, please, like she could like I was the baseline. So if she could just get a ball in a basket once in a while, that was considered like super coordinated and talented athletically in my family because I was breaking bitches' noses. You know, like I literally broke my basketball team's nose, my teammate's nose when I was 10 years old because I just wanted the ball. I didn't care if it was from a teammate. I just wanted the ball and I would throw it in any basket. And I only scored 3 times and it was in our basket. So the other team got the point. And I didn't understand dribbling. I just took the ball and I ran. You know, it's like a metaphor for life. Anyways, so my sister was like, not bad. Okay. And she went through this weird phase, which obviously like now being in hindsight, being older, she probably just didn't want to be anything like me. So I was like, you know, in a bedazzled crop top from, you know, the second I exited the womb, and she was going through like her tomboy phase. So she liked wearing like boys shorts and she wanted to play basketball, and she was not like her older sister Jackie, who was like 3 clicks away from a fucking drag queen wearing a dead relative's cancer wig, shimmying her tits in the garage, you know? So she was playing basketball and pretending that she, you know, had a future in the WNBA. And I started like getting a whiff of lesbo vibes. And then like the very next morning, we were getting ready for school and she looked at me and she said, "Hey, Jackie, if you could marry any girl, who would you marry?" And I said, Ashley, we're going to shelf this for a later time. I walk into my mom's room, my parents' room, and I'm like, Mom, we got to talk stat. And she's like, what's up? I'm like 11 at the time. I'm like, Ashley's a lesbian. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, Ashley is a lesbian. And my mom's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, Mom, read the fucking signs. She plays basketball. She's wearing a Baby Gap Bermuda short from the little boys section that we got at the outlets. And now she's asking me about being in love with a woman, lesbian. Like, you know, and my mom's like, you know, I could kind of see that. Let me talk to her. And I was like, okay. So then my mom like pulls her aside later that evening. And she's like, hey, Ash. My sister's like, yeah. And she's like, you know, if you ever thought that you had a crush on girls, you could always tell me, right? And my sister's like, what are you, ew, like, what are you talking about? Not that it's you. I'm just saying in the context of not being a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? And my mom's like, you know, if you ever feel like you have a crush on a girl, or maybe, you know, that's your thing, then you could just always tell us. And it's like totally no big deal. And my sister was like, okay, I'm like 8, but sure, I'll let you know if I have a, you know, a fond liking to the vagine later in life. Like, ew. And now we talk about it all the time. And when my sister got married, to pause for reaction, a heterosexual male, I did make upwards of like 18 lesbian jokes because, you know, that was just like the deciding factor. Anyways, so Jojo Siwa is in a relationship with a man. They post a lot of not disgusting, well, kind of disgusting. Yeah, objectively disgusting photos of them like cuddling with their eyes closed, which is like, just imagine, okay. Imagine you're with your significant other and you're laying in bed and you're like, oh, this is such a tender moment. And then you grab your phone and then you say, wait, babe, just close your eyes. And then you just like raw dog Helen Keller a photo shoot to put on the fucking internet to be like, I like penis now. Is she pegging him? She must be. Okay. Miley Cyrus made a joke that Jojo Siwa is like back in the closet. That's not a joke. That's like literally exactly what she's doing. So that's cool. Ooh, soft clubbing. Okay, this is a new term. It's okay. So basically people are burnt out and want fun things without the fatigue. So they're getting together at like 4 p.m., coffee shops, cafes, hair salons. Okay, Josh, this is unbelievable. Of course, Gen Z is now making a term for everything. That's called just like being 30. That's not called soft clubbing. That's called like a reasonable gathering time. Okay, not 10:30 to 8, 4:30 to 7:30 feels very responsible. We're going back to Los Olivos in a couple weeks for my best friend's birthday and doing like a little wine tasting thing, little couples trip. And we were like planning out like where we're going to go wine tasting, where we're going to go for dinner, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I really want to go to this restaurant, Bell's. It's like this great place out there that's like a Michelin, the Bear adjacent, like really great restaurant. And she's like, should we go for lunch or should we go for dinner? And I was like, I don't know. Like, what time are you thinking for dinner? She's like, 5:30. I'm like, book it. 5:30 p.m. Book it. Especially after a day of wine tasting, a 5:30 p.m. dinner. Like, will I have to have a second dinner when we get back to the hotel at 8:30? Sure. But it could be a snack. It could be a crostini of sorts. It could be a dessert. It could be a cheese plate, a nightcap cheese plate. So yes, I will be soft clubbing all day, every day. Okay. Now we're going to do a little rapid fire AMA, everybody. Get ready for it. What is my favorite national holiday? Ooh, you know what? Oh my God, my mother is going to be rolling in her grave, but I don't give a fuck about Thanksgiving. Okay. I would say I'm low key a grateful person every single day, and I don't need to eat dry ass turkey. Okay. To remember the atrocities that occurred on American soil. Lest we forget, I'm part Native American. Okay. So I don't like celebrating Thanksgiving. I think the food is disgusting. It's just gobble, gobble. Don't care. This is new, but I think I love Christmas. Pause for reaction. I do think I love Christmas. I like the lights. I like making a little Dutch baby. I like wearing matching pajamas. I like getting gifts. I love giving gifts, if you can even believe that. I kind of love it. And now I think maybe next Christmas, Clyde will be old enough to like do the Jewish Christmas where we do the morning thing. We do the stockings, we do the presents, we do the trees, we do the lights, and then we go get like really amazing Chinese food and go see a movie. That's what I think. I love Christmas. Oh, and I used to love 4th of July, but that's my aunt's birthday and she died. Cue the music. Okay. How do you pick which vintage Housewives episode to watch? This is so easy. The fact that anyone would ever even ask this is like, I want to slap you across your fucking face. Everybody asks me all the time, which episode do I start with at the Real Housewives? Who fucking hurt you? Listen up, Linda. I've said this from the fucking jump 700 times. We always start with Roni. If you have to pick one, it's Roni. Okay. Then you have to go back to basics in Real Housewives of Orange County. You have to start from the very beginning. You have to see the trajectory. It is high level camp. And it is, I mean, like the Gretchen Rossi of it all, the fact that Gretchen Rossi is coming back to our screens and has not renovated her dead Jeff's home. Okay. I'll never get over it. Dead Jeff's armoire, dead Jeff's kitchen. I'm so sorry. So that's my answer. I'm just going to keep moving on. I love that I refer to Gretchen Rossi's ex-fiance as this does not bode well for the beginning of this episode. Dead Jeff. It's not funny. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My family were very morally bankrupt, and we call everyone after like a certain age, when it's not like really, really hard to metabolize, we refer to everybody in the family as like dead Ray, dead Esther, dead Gertie, dead Jeff. Like over the age of 75, when somebody passes, we just dead and then insert name. And that's like to my grandmother. I'm like, oh yeah, those are dead Esther's plates. Like that's just how we communicate, and it's really fucked up. But that's why I'm just, you got to go Roni or Real Housewives of Orange County. You got to see Dead Jeff's kitchen. Today's episode is sponsored by Addyi, the FDA-approved treatment for certain premenopausal women who are bothered by low libido and want their sex drive back. Let's be real. At a certain point, we're just over it. Not because we don't love our partners or our situationships, but because sometimes our bodies just decide, nope, we're done here. Let's break it down. If a dude can't get it up, he's got what, like 26 different boner pills? But for women, there's really only one. Maybe you've been hearing about it. It's this little pink pill called Addyi. Addyi is clinically proven to help boost your sex drive and increase satisfaction. It's helped thousands of women, and honestly, you deserve it, bitch. Go check out Addyi at addyi.com. That's ADDYI.com, because a dry spell is one thing, but babe, we're not waiting on rain. Addyi, or flibanserin, is for premenopausal women with acquired generalized hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, who have not had problems with low sexual desire in the past, who have low sexual desire no matter the type of sexual activity, the situation, or the sexual partner. The low sexual desire is troubling to them and is not due to a medical or mental health problem. Problems in the relationship or medicine or other drug use. Addyi is not for use in children, men, or to enhance sexual performance. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is increased if you drink 1 to 2 standard alcoholic drinks close in time to your Addyi dose. Wait at least 2 hours after drinking before taking Addyi at bedtime. This risk increases if you take certain prescriptions, OTC, or herbal medications, or have liver problems, and can happen when you take Addyi without alcohol or other medicines. Do not take if you are allergic to any of Addyi's ingredients. Allergic reactions may include hives, itching, or trouble breathing. Sometimes serious sleepiness can occur. Common side effects include dizziness, nausea, tiredness, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, and dry mouth. See full PI and medication guide, including box warning, at addyi.com/PI. Do you sleep in all your jewelry? No. That's weird. Of course not. No, 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 no. My rings, though. Do you believe in manifesting or is it total bullshit? Okay. I think about this a lot. The world is not everybody's oyster. Okay. I think that by saying that, we disregard privilege. And as a privileged person, I would never stare into a camera and be like, seeing is believing, you can do it. Like when people are being like, rounded up on the streets and thrown in vans like animals, I don't know that like I'm gonna sit in front of a camera and tell you that like you can do anything. You kind of can't, but you can do better. And I think my version of manifesting is like knowing what I'm capable of and loving myself enough to fail. So I don't know if I don't do vision boards. Okay. And anything that I've really wanted that I've gotten is because I knew I was capable of it. And then I made really smart decisions and executed gorgeously. So I don't know that I'm like a manifesting person. I just don't even like really get into the weeds with it. I'm like, this is what I want and I'm going to get it. And then I just do it. Like, let's simplify. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like closing my eyes being like, I want my yard. Like, I'm going to work and then I'm going to acquire funds and then I'm going to renovate my yard. I don't even know that what I would manifest at this point. I just want to like I'm good. I'm a very content person. And I just think there's some beauty in that. You know, I don't really understand. I'm so inspired by it. And I like surrounding myself with very goal-oriented, successful, whatever your definition of that is, people. I like being around talented people. I want to grow together as a friend unit. And I think that me and my friends have done that like really beautifully. So I'm very selective with who I spend time with because it matters. But am I like manifesting things for myself? If everything stayed exactly the same forever, I'd be the happiest person in the world. That's literally, I'm good. So maybe I'm not goal oriented enough to be a manifester, but I'm an action forward person. You know what I mean? Top 5 favorite movies. Okay, obviously I'm not married to this, but like I love Father of the Bride is like my favorite movie ever. Like I weep. What other movies do I love? Oh no, like Tu Wong Fu I love. I'm not going to answer that. I don't know. Movies that make me like, I love Nancy Meyers movies, and I'm not getting too intellectual with it. You know what I mean? Like there are movies that I really, really love, but like, do I want to watch them all the time? No, maybe they're like overwhelming for me. But like if Father of the Bride is on, I'm never, ever, ever going to turn it off. Top 5 favorite books. Okay, this is really hard because I literally haven't read a book in, oh my God, so long. What was a book that I loved? Somebody tell me. I can't fucking tell you. I have not finished a book. Like The Silent Patient, I kind of remember, but like couldn't give you a plot line. I read Verity. I haven't really finished much else. Oh my God, my best friend who's like reads all the time. She used to buy me books all the time. When we were living in London, our husbands all work together, whatever. She's like a very intelligent, like well-read human. And she would always go and buy me books, which was probably her like hint way of being like, bitch, you're stupid. And she like knew that I used to love Stephen King actually when I was a kid, which is like really weird. I loved Stephen King, but I also think I like used it as a bit. I'm like, I just love Stephen King. Like, I'm not like other 6th graders. I'm creepy and advanced. You know what I mean? I had to like really lean into that. So I remember reading like Carrie. I remember reading like Stranger with My Face, which is not Stephen King, but like amazing. I remember that like shook me to my fucking core. I remember there was a book called Star Girl that I loved. I read all the Gossip Girl. I was actually kind of like a big reader when I was younger. So maybe that's why I've like turned the opposite way. I read The Giver, you know, kind of. Island of the Blue Dolphins. Oh, brought me to my knees. Lord of the Flies. Like I don't really read books. I'm super sorry. It's just like not, it's just not my thing. Is it a waste to throw a first birthday party for your baby? Absolutely. 100%. But like you do it once and then you never do it again. Or you know what? I'm like kind of down for just trips moving forward. For all of Clyde's birthdays moving forward, like maybe we'll do something like cheese stick, but I am not subscribing to Kardashian party culture where Mindy Weiss is coming to my house and like busting a balloon arch. Like I'm never going to do that. You know, we obviously for Clyde's first birthday, we had a fraternity themed birthday party, which was to die for, the easiest decor of all time. I was just looking back at old pictures. We just threw red cups and like put bras in the trees and like just toxic, like macho frat rat decor everywhere. And it was like in kegs. It was so much fun. But that was a party for us. That wasn't a party for Clyde. This year, we are taking him to the Teddy Swims Thomas Rhett show in Boston, which is going to be so fucking amazing. I mean, hello, with all of his friends and all of our friends, like in a box for his birthday. Yeah, it's going to be hard to fucking top that. But once again, that's not for him. That's for us, right? And like next year, like I'm just going to take him on a trip and get him a babysitter and call it a fucking day. Once again, not for him, for us. And then we're going to fucking Chuck E. Cheese, okay? What would your death row meal be? That is so easy. First, I would start off with a white truffle potato chip from Trader Joe's with a Osetra gorgeous caviar. And I don't need the creme fraiche. I don't need the raw shallot. I don't need any of that. I just need the eggs and the chip. Okay. Then I would have a gorgeous, beautiful beluga vodka, clean as a whistle blue cheese martini. That would be like my first course. My second course would be a shrimp cocktail with a glass, like a really ice cold shrimp cocktail with a glass of probably Billicart Salmon Rosé. Okay. Just to like pair. Then I would move on to a wedge salad and also like a sliced tomato onion salad and a beautiful super Tuscan. And then I would have a filet with maybe some like I was dying anyway, so I could go fat ass. I'd get like a béarnaise, and then I'd get like A1, and then I would have like some roasted asparagus, maybe like some cream spinach, but like easy on the cream, onion rings, and then I would have a chocolate souffle with fresh whipped cream, and then I would die. Ted Chucky. Antique shopping tips. Yes. What would be my antique shopping tips? I think my home decor shopping tips in general is no shiny golds, only unlacquered brass. Okay. Also, like weight matters. Like when you go to Home Goods, it's all about the materials. Like if you find like a marble bowl or a marble box, not like a veneer marble that's like a sticker. Like I'm talking like a solid like travertine plate or something, like get it, because it's about the materials and like, and obviously the design a little bit. But as far as like antiquing, shop around. Let go, let God. Try to find things that are interesting. I'm just like very drawn to anything that's unlacquered brass, anything that's like a weird marble color because I love the patina. Anything that's like made well, like wood furniture for me. Like I love like a vintage little side table. I always look for things that have wood detailing on them. So whether it's like fluting or like engraving or paneling or just like interesting woodwork, like I'm not like a Scandinavian. Like I'm not going to go buy like a vintage plain wood table. Like I want it to have some woodwork on it. You know what I mean? I want it to look like special and old and like lived in it. Also, my friend Michelle told me this. She's a decorator and she said, I went antiquing with her recently and she told me that you always need to sage whatever you bring into your house if it's an antique, because it could be carrying dead energy. Or it could be like haunted and it can bring spirits into your house. So I look for things that are just, not exorcism adjacent, and also just things that I love that like feel old. And like, I think it's so important when you walk into someone's house that you know exactly who lives there. Like if you walked into my house, you would be, well, please don't, by the way. But if you did, you would be like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Like it looks like Andrew. It looks like me. It mostly looks like me. But, it also kind of like, it feels like us. You know what I mean? It's not like a cookie cutter copy and paste of a Pinterest board. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I just feel like they made furniture so much better back in the day. Like the craftsmanship is just on a different wavelength. So yeah, I don't know if that's helpful at all, but yeah, those are my tips and tricks. And on that note, I gotta go tend to my fucking child. Love you. Thank you. This wasn't really a great episode for me, but I'm really tired. Next week, I'm gonna blow your fucking balls off. And if this is the first episode you're ever listening to, which is probably not because I've been in the game a very long time, it's not a lot of new listeners at this point, but just keep listening because they're all so good. They really are. Ugh, they don't make them like me anymore. Love you. Bye.